This is a little different, as normally when I sit down to do these, I have things prepped out, kind of what I want to say, have a time limit, usually trying to keep it set for social media. We do a one take and then we just kind of go for it. This one's a little more difficult, so I figured we'd do something like this. Give you a little more kind of back and forth of where my head goes when I'm doing these things. Because today I want to talk about me. That's kind of difficult. I don't always do a great job communicating about myself or how I feel or what's going on. I've talked a lot about people in the last couple weeks. I've talked a lot about members of the Black Hand Society and friends of mine. I've talked a lot about influences and people who have made a difference in my life, friends. But when it comes to talking about me and my legacy, it's a difficult thing for me. It's been 12 years I've been inside professional wrestling, and not all of them have been enjoyable. I started wrestling not because I wanted to. That sounds weird to say. I got into wrestling because Jack Pollock was a friend of mine, and I loved wrestling, but he really wanted to do it. It wasn't something that was, on the table for me. We talked about it and we goofed around about it, but I'm not a big person. I am about 5'6", around 170 pounds. Was smaller back then, 12 years ago. Was probably around maybe 150 pounds. Was a small person. So wrestling just wasn't ever in the cards for me. It was something I had any issues in doing. But Jack did, and he went and trained. And after that, when he came back, I decided to be a good friend and just kind of support him the best I could, which meant going to shows and just having his back. Just being a guy that he didn't feel awkward around, or just being a friend to help. Now, I had years of stage crew experience and theater experience, so when you have that, wrestling promoters love it, because I figured out quickly how to put together a ring, I knew how to set up chairs, entrance ways, all that type of stuff. So I was good free labor in those early days, and I knew how to point a camera. I had some camera training, things like that, so I was smart enough to kind of hang around. And then eventually people figured out some things about me and pushed me to get into wrestling. Those people were Peyton Graham, and those people were Jimmy Nuts, who told me I should get involved in some sort of way. And after being around it and doing all that, I did. And I had one goal, and that was it. And that was to manage my best friend. And I got to do that. Jake Garrett gave me the opportunity, spurred on by Quinn Magnum, who I had mentioned this to. And I got to do it. And then I fell in love with it every day that I was involved in it. People like Shirley Doe pushed me, answered my questions. Jake Garrett, Quinn Magnum, BC Steele. And credit where credit is due to people like Stacy Hunter and Crystal Frost, who saw something in me too, gave me a lot of opportunities. Could have, boxed me out, but didn't. And then I had bigger dreams. To book was a dream I wanted to do. I found out I was good at this, talking. And when I got better at it over time, through lots of good advice and helpful things, I started helping more and more younger students learn. And all of that felt great. and I put together things that I'm incredibly proud of that I can't talk about anymore. Um, and that's why I'm here. I don't think you all realize how much it hurt, how much it still hurts, that pretty much everything I've done in professional wrestling no one knows about anymore. Specifically 880 people, because I mean there's so many new fans, there's so many people that have come from out of nowhere. And the places I worked ended up being places I shouldn't have. That's not what I mean. I loved working for Quinn and Jake, but the letters associated with them are tarnished. I spent a lot of my life working for people that didn't have my best interest. And I don't mean the bookers, I don't mean Quinn, I don't mean Jake, I mean promoters. And they knew who they are. I gave a lot to those places. Time, energy, effort. I put a lot in and didn't get all of it back. It is incredibly difficult to talk about my time in wrestling without talking about promoters who didn't share my ideals in this business, who didn't view wrestlers the same way I did. And then leaving those places, either by causing too much drama that I was let go or I quit. Never really finding a home after that. And then taking over booking in one of the proudest things I've ever done. Creating the locker room that I wanted to create. Giving people opportunity that I thought deserved opportunity. Building something from scratch. I'm incredibly proud of that. That is my legacy to me. It'll always be my legacy to me. I don't talk about it because things didn't end there the way I wanted them to end. I don't think things ended the way they wanted it to end. So we don't talk about it because it hurts. Because it's unfortunate. Because business decisions got misconstrued as personal things. And that is my fault, as well as theirs. Everyone has equal blame to go around in that situation. Hurt feelings became hurt that just didn't go away. My time booking, I made decisions that I will always stand by. But things got so stressful for me. I don't think people understand. Near the end, I was having panic attacks before every show, night before. I had a few mental breakdowns in this room where I shoot stuff. The stress, the changes, the pressure I put on myself was too much. It was at a time personally that I had a lot of personal things going on that we're not going to talk about. And then when it ended, it was both a disappointment and a relief. You're not supposed to get in this business to make friends. It's not show friends. But I've made a lot over the time, and they have had my back a lot more than I think they should. When I talk about legacy in this business and what mine is, my legacy is my legacy, and I'm okay with it. I fought for people. That's my legacy. And what hurts is that it's been forgotten. I spent a lot of time in my career in back rooms, in creative meetings, in booking meetings, whether I was welcomed or not, fighting for people. And putting my wrestling career on the line over and over again on hills that I die on for people. Pushing for people, no matter where. And it is disheartening that my career has become the guy that'll sit here and talk about everyone else and no one will talk about me. That's what hurts. Envy Young, I thought, and I would like to think is a friend. I have given him a lot of advice in his career. I have always been there for him. When he moved back to Pittsburgh, I booked MV at the rate that he asked for, whether that was out of my own pocket or not. I gave MV a lot of advice to help him through a lot of times. I remember telling him specifically, was some controversy on the internet with MV, as there always is, and he was taking it hard, and I told him to keep swinging for fences, and sometimes he's going to strike out, and sometimes he's going to hit a home run, and he's going to bat flip. And now you see it on his entrance. That's what he does. I'm that guy. And it would be nice if someone else said it. It would be nice if someone gave me some credit for once in my life. MV Young founded 880 Wrestling. He is the founder. And I like that term because he found it. I work really, really hard in this industry to make things more acceptable, to make things better for people, to make sure that talent was treated fairly, to make sure that marginalized people in this industry had a place that they could work. I worked really hard in deep conservative America to bring a show like that. And what 880 is, I'm incredibly proud of. But 880 is part of my legacy, what I worked for, the work I put in for 12 years of this business. I don't get mentioned on podcasts. I don't get asked to do them. I don't get mentioned or thanked ever for what I've tried to do for people. You never hear it. You never hear, oh man, Marcus Mann really gave me something. And it hurts a lot. Now I hear it from Edric Everhart, and I hear it from Matt Conard, and I hear it from Peyton Graham, and I hear it from Remy LeVay. I hear it from them. I don't hear it from anyone else. I definitely don't hear it from MV Young. I don't hear about how I tried to help him at every stretch, no matter how rude he was to me when he first broke in here in Pittsburgh. It hurts to fight for every single person and have no one fight for you. It hurts. It hurts that my best friend doesn't stick up for me. It hurts that fans don't care. It hurts that I fought for every single one of them for so long. And on show days, when they announce the commentators that everyone cheers for Toddy, doesn't cheer for me. It hurts. I'm a person. I try to let things roll off of me, but they're not always gonna do that. Not always. And this is personal, and this is me bridging it, being honest. Not really. Can't be honest. It's all performative. It's camera. Putting on some sort of act. I always am. That's because this is a business. I don't believe in the shoot promo. They don't exist. They're not real. Because you're never truly honest in this business. There is no true honesty. Don't get me wrong. This isn't honest. We can't be. I care more about wrestling than I ever cared about myself. I gave more to wrestling than I ever gave to myself. I gave up a lot of my mental health to this business. I gave up a lot of friendships. I gave up a lot of personal relationships. I am less close with people today because of this business. I have ruined a lot of friendships because of this business. Because of what I think this business should be. That's probably more accurate. I'll never shy away from fighting for this business and for what it should be. I think 880 is one of the best wrestling places I've ever seen. It fulfills a lot of things that I wanted wrestling to be. I think Enjoy Wrestling fulfills a lot of what I wanted wrestling to be. And if those people were honest, they would admit that they built on my legacy, on what I did. But they're not. They're not honest. I'm kind of left behind in all of that. Asked to help, but never start. If there's a wrestling Hall of Fame, I'll never be in it. If there's a plaque, I'll never receive it. I don't even know if I want it anymore. What I want is to be recognized for who I am. And what I want is 880 Wrestling to be mine. Not to change it, not to destroy it. I want it to fulfill my legacy. I want it to be the place that I always wanted. It's on its way. But I don't think MV Young is doing the right job by it. I don't think he's doing the right job by the students. I don't think he's doing the right job for the company. I don't have any more time. My legacy's been erased for years because of shady promoters, racist promoters, bad business decisions, my own stupidity, my own frustrations, my own fights that didn't matter, all of it. This is my last chance at a legacy. This is my last chance to be in history books. This is my last chance to do something great in this business and be remembered. And I'm going to take it. I'm not going to stop. And it doesn't matter what you do to me. Now, 12 years later, same small guy. You can physically beat me up, Mike. It's not going to stop me. Because I have the best group of friends who love me for me. And they're going to have my back. They're going to pick me up. They're going to dust me off. And they're going to say thank you to me. Even if you won't. I love 880 wrestling. And I'm going to make it better. Trust me.